Hello and welcome to the Happy Families podcast. Today it's a Doctor's Desk episode where we have a look at some brand new, just published developmental psychology research from Harvard University where we consider what's more fun, hard fun or easy fun? Will kids enjoy playing for fun more or less than playing to win? Does competition inspire kids or turn them off? We find out that based on the latest research next on the Happy Families podcast. Stay with us. Hello and welcome to the Happy Families podcast where you get real parenting solutions every single day. This is Australia's most downloaded parenting podcast. We are Justin and Kylie Coulson. Kylie, I have a question for you. If I was to say to you, what would you rather? Would you rather have fun that's easy, or would you rather have fun that's hard? That is, what is more fun for you? Doing something that is relaxing and cruisy and doesn't require much of you, or is it more fun to do something that really stretches you, pushes you, and challenges you?
So I don't think there's a single answer for this one. I think it really depends on...
Oh my goodness, you're speaking like a scientist. You're saying...
I think it depends on where you're at in your life and what your mood is.
Like, it depends on what time of day it is.
Yeah,
what sort of day you've
sometimes doing something really nice and relaxing feels fun.
Yeah.
But when you're feeling vital and invigorated and feel like you've got lots of life, the most fun comes when you're actually challenging yourself.
Okay, let's get a little bit more concrete. I want to talk about a study that's just been conducted and published. One of my favorite researchers in the whole wide world is a researcher called Alison Gopnik. She is one of about 6 or 7 researchers who have all been involved in this brand new study that has just been published. The article's been published in Developmental Psychology. It's one of the world's leading developmental psychology journals, and this is a place where people publish very serious, high-quality studies. So we're looking here at a specific game. Let me give you the context of the game, okay? Basically, you've got a whole bunch of kids. They're aged between 5 and 10, and the game is as follows. Here is your mission. Knock down 6 blocks on this rectangular space by tossing either beanbags or batons. I'm saying baton like I'm French. I'm not baton. Batons. You know what? Do you know what a baton is? A baton? Yeah. Okay. Do I say baton or baton? Or now I don't even know how to say the word. Help me here.
It's a pattern.
It's a baton.
Yeah.
Baton. Okay. So they're throwing either a baton or beanbags at the 6 blocks, which if you're 5 to 10 years old could be potentially, it could be a lot of fun. So again, if we go back to that question, do we want to make this hard and challenging, or do we want to make sure that we win? Which one is going to be more appealing to a 5 or 10-year-old, winning or being challenged?
I'm going to say being challenged every time.
All right. Let's have a look at what the researchers found. So essentially, they talked to these kids and said there are 2 different ways that you can play the game. You can either try to knock down all the blocks in order to win stickers, okay, so you can win, or you can just play it for fun. And by playing it for fun, that might mean that you might decide to modify the game. In fact, you can modify the game whether you're trying to win or if you're playing for fun. You can do whatever you like here. There aren't really any rules. So you might change the throwing distance, and that's going to affect your ability to win, or you could just change the color of the beanbags and the batons. I can't say it. I'm still stuck on it. The batons. That's obviously not going to affect the chance of winning, but it might be more fun because you get to throw the red one and the blue one and the green one, or you can throw all 3 at once. Okay, so you've got different ways that you can modify the game. And essentially the researchers just said to each child, how would you like to set up the game for both the win and the fun conditions? Okay, we're going to do both. You're going to get to play for fun and you're going to get to play to win. How would you like to set up the game?
Well, I'm going to take a stab in the dark.
Go.
If they were playing for fun,
Yep.
then I actually think that they would step away from the target.
Right.
They would create more distance.
Oh, so they'd challenge themselves.
Yep.
Okay, because this is meant to be about fun.
Yep.
Yep.
And if they were playing to compete, then I would say that they would come in closer.
Okay, if I'm going for the stickers, if I'm going for the prize, if I'm trying to defeat others, I want to increase my chances as much as possible. You're speaking like a scientist. We always joke about how you don't like the Doctor's Desk episodes, but I think that this is starting to infiltrate your psyche because They were the hypotheses that the researchers made. And I know some people might say, well, this comes from the University of Durham, of course. But we have to keep doing these research projects because in classrooms and in homes, kitchens, dining rooms, bedrooms, we're consistently setting things up like a game show. We're setting things up as a competition, or we're trying to get kids to be, quote unquote, motivated by sticking these external things in their face. You can get the sticky, you can get the prize, you can get the goodie.
We're actually going the opposite way, though, in a lot of cases, and we're not providing our kids with the challenge they actually need.
Potentially, which makes things
boring.
So let's talk about what the researchers found, whether you're right or not. And then...
I'm always right.
Okay. Well, you are. The team's analysis showed, and I'm quoting here from an article from the British Psychological Society, that even the youngest children preferred easier win-relevant settings when they were playing to win than when they were playing for fun. In other words, if there's something on the line, let's make this as easy as possible. I just need to get the goodie. In the fun condition, they didn't feel that the way that the game was set up mattered at all. They just wanted to experiment. They wanted to challenge themselves. They wanted to have fun.
And it didn't matter, I would assume, if they hit it or not. They're stretching themselves.
Well, it does matter that they hit it simply because they want to hit it, because that's the challenge, right? That's inherent in it. But if they've moved 20 meters and they don't even know that they can throw the beanbag or the baton that far, then it's about experimenting and finding out. After the break, let's talk about what this means in our homes with our kids when we're talking about their motivation for play, work, and other challenges. We're back. This is the Happy Families Podcast. Kylie, let's hit it. Take-home messages from the research, because we are about giving you genuine, real parenting solutions. The first thing is this. When you remove competition, when you take away prizes, goodies, and the chance of getting something, kids' intrinsic orientation toward growth means that as a general rule, they will pursue more challenge. That's the big take-home message from this experiment.
I know you're talking about 5 to 10-year-olds, but if we go back a couple of years to toddlers, there's no competition in there, right?
No,
they're not.
No, you're not setting 3-year-olds against each other. Yeah.
At all to think about what anyone else is doing, but you watch the way they play, and they put their body on the line at every chance they get.
They challenge themselves.
They are constantly challenging themselves.
I'm thinking about what they do at the park, how they want to climb things that are way too big. They want to slide down the slide that's way too big, or climb up the slide the wrong way, even though...
Or they push a dining chair over to the kitchen bench so they can get up on the kitchen bench because there's something there that they want.
It's all about challenge.
They're constantly challenging themselves.
Now, it's worth highlighting here, though, and the researchers didn't point this out, if the activity is...
too hard.
Well, I was going to say just not interesting. So you might say too easy. Or, yes, potentially if it is vastly too hard, you'll actually see that there is no motivation. Like kids just look at it and go, I'm not competent, I'm not capable, I can't do it. So it is important that the settings are about right. And these Harvard researchers have stepped into this situation and said, here's a game that we think you'll like. Okay, that is different to a lot of circumstances where we find kids, and that's why people use external motivators so very much. There's another thing that's worth highlighting, and that's as follows. If I'm going to play a game of ping pong, speaking from experience here, if I'm going to play a game of ping pong with a friend and we don't score, I'm bored within about 90 seconds.
I was going to say, I play card games with the kids and a few times just can't be bothered scoring. And there's just kind of almost no point.
Right.
To playing the game.
Yeah. And usually that will be because we're not setting it up structurally so that we're orienting ourselves towards challenge. Now, let's say you and I were going to play some ping pong and we decided that the whole object of this, we're not just going to hit the ball across to one another. The object of this is to see if we can let the ball bounce once on our side, and then we've got to hit it as low to the ground as possible. So you know how in ping pong, I hit it over the net, it bounces on your side, and then it's going to bounce onto the ground. And so my objective now is to get it as close to the ground as possible before I hit it back over the net, and it's still got to get in. Now I've created a level of challenge in our interaction that's not about competition, it's just about having fun and exploring. Or we're going to work on our behind the back shots. Or we're going to work on our trying to get the shot into the corner, as close to the corner, as close to the edge as we can. So when we do that, we can take scoring out of it, but we've introduced some other element of challenge. There's some other purpose. And that's the critical thing about the challenge that Alison Gopnik and her colleagues in this research study have done. They've said to the kids, there is a challenge here with this task. There is an objective. What we're trying to do is X, Y, or Z. If you and I just stand on opposite sides of the table and hit the ball to one another,
play by the rules.
Well, we can play by the rules, but if there's no scoring, then there's no challenge. And my point is, you need to have an objective. Otherwise, things are just not that exciting or that interesting.
We're talking about kids challenging themselves.
Right.
But essentially, it really is about them being willing to take risks.
Yeah.
And
they want hard fun.
Yeah. But it has to be autonomous.
Yeah, that's right.
As soon as you put a caveat on it or you tell them what they have to do, it either is too hard, too easy, or it loses its...
Let me tweak that just a bit. I know you're searching for a word, but I need just a gentle tweak here. You're saying as soon as you tell them what to do, it's going to lose interest or motivation for them. But that's not quite right. You can tell them what to do, and so long as they see the value in it, so long as they identify the value, they endorse the activity, and therefore they will be involved. It's when we're asking them to do something that they just can't see the purpose or value in. That's when we start to see the decrease in motivation. Hey, just one more quick thought that I think really rams this home, and it's a great way to end the pod. One of the most influential books in my life is a book called Punished by Rewards by Alfie Kohn. Punished by Rewards, the trouble with gold stars, incentive plans, A's, praise, and other bribes. And in the book, which was written in the early 90s, I might add, he reflects on the very principles that had already been discovered that underpin what we're reading about and talking about in today's doctor's desk. And this is what he says. He says it's not entirely accurate to say that when we are working for rewards, we just want fast and frequent success, which is what you could argue with these kids, right? They want fast success, they want frequent success, which is why they've increased the odds of their winning by moving as close as they can and making the variables work in their favor. He says the truth is even worse than that. Our objective is not really to succeed at the task at all in the sense of doing it well. It is to succeed at obtaining the reward. If it was somehow possible to obtain it without finishing the assignment, we would abandon the task in a minute. Kurt Lewin said as much in the 1930s. Two researchers confirmed this effect empirically in the 80s, and obviously we're still confirming it now. And then he goes on to say a couple more things. Just this is the last thing that I'll say. He says, if we do usually complete the task, it's only because doing so is a prerequisite for getting the goodie. But even when this is true, we will, given a choice, select the easiest possible task or the easiest way of doing the task. At least 10 studies have found just that, with preschoolers working for toys, older children working for grades, and adults working for money, all trying to avoid anything challenging. Furthermore, research indicates that 1, the bigger the reward, the easier the task that people choose. 2, when the rewards stop, those who received them earlier continue to prefer to do as little as possible. And 3, easier tasks are selected not only in situations where rewards are offered, but by people who are, as a general rule, more reward-oriented. The practical implications here are enormous because in our workplaces, in our classrooms, and in our homes, because we're completely saturated in these behavioral ideas like you need to reward and punish people, what we're really doing is discouraging kids from taking risks, from thinking creatively, from challenging themselves. And that's what these researchers at Harvard have found one more time. The more you put rewards in front of people, the less likely it is that people will challenge themselves. The more you remove rewards and say, let's just do this because it's fun, the more they seek the challenge.
So you and I have been working in the gym together. And It's a little bit unfair because we're at completely different abilities.
Yes.
And when I started trying to compete with you, which I cannot do.
Right, but you suddenly want to beat me.
I still wanted to kind of at least be at your level.
Right.
I hated it.
Yes.
Like I absolutely hated it. It was hard and I came home dejected every day.
Yes.
But once I changed my mindset and this was about me challenging my own body and what my body's capable of doing. The other day, I came home and showed you that I could do a handstand unassisted by myself.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to do that
in
forever. And it feels amazing and it spurs me on to want to do more as a result and challenge myself, take more risks, because it's all about me. It's not actually about whether I can do what you're doing. It's about what I can do.
And if I was to say, I'll give you $100 if you can do it, your focus moves from doing it and challenging yourself to what have I got to do to get the reward, and just doing that bare minimum. Once you've got the reward, that's when you back off. This is why when people set the challenge of, I'm going to train for the marathon or the triathlon or this or that, once they've done it, they stop training, right? Because they got the reward. They did the thing.
Well, I had that exact experience as a teenager. A friend of mine said if I got a full strike at 10-pin bowling, that they'd give me $20. And I was actually playing pretty well. I hadn't obviously got a strike, but I was doing really well. I bowled worse than I had ever bowled after the incentive was placed before me than I had previous to it, because all I was focused on was the money, not the actual experience.
Motivation is so complex. It's so interesting. I love this whole conversation. We will link to that study in the show notes if you're interested in understanding more about it. And I do recommend Alfie Kohn's book, Punished by Rewards. I don't get any kickbacks for mentioning it. It's just an absolute cracker of a book, and it changed my life. It's one of the main reasons that I do what I do. We hope that you've enjoyed today's pod. The Happy Families podcast is produced by Justin Rulon from Bridge Media. Mem Hammonds provides our research, admin, and other support. And if you would like to know more about making your family happier, visit us at happyfamilies.com.au.